What is up, Capricorn? How are you guys doing? It is time for your weekly check-in. My apologies. I normally don't like to get to them this late. I like to get all this done before Monday gets here. Past couple weeks, though, it's been a heavy fucking end of retrograde season, and life has gotten in the way a lot. So here we are, though. The game must go on. So weekly check-ins are just a short, sweet, quick, general energetic overview. So if any of you need a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But also I have a link right down here in the description of the video. All right, let's see what we got. What can we tell you? What can we tell Capricorn universe about their situation and the person they're dealing with? Third week of August. Ooh, Page of Cups. What's that? Ooh, a love offer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Devil. The Devil card is the Capricorn card, but ooh, yeah. So honestly, I'm kind of feeling like, it's feeling like somebody is at least planning and scheming a reconciliation attempt. There's a lot going on here, though, too, because we got Three of Cups, Three of Swords right next to each other. You know what this feels like to me? It feels like there's some kind of third party or third energy in the mix here. This feels like a good old classic case of who I left you for turned out to not be better than you. They turned out to be a piece of shit. So I'm going to come running back to you real quick. But if they hit me up, oh, you best believe I'm going to ghost your ass and run right back to them. I'm not saying that's the exact scenario, but you know the energy behind that? You know, or I thought it would be easy to replace you. Turned out it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, and I can't stand sitting alone for too terribly long, so I gotta bring some fucking body into my life. So I guess I'll come back to you just to fill the void until something better comes along, right? That type of energy, that service to self type energy is what this looks like here. And man, I'm seeing here, it's looking like it's getting real close to an offer being made or some sort of attempt being made here. We got Page of Pentacles and Page of Cups. You might not be that stupid, though. Especially if you've already played this game with this person a time or two. You might be a little bit reluctant to jump in head first willy-nilly with this person. Whoops. Some of you dealing with an Aries. I also have Aquarius, Scorpio, could be a fellow Capricorn for some of you. I don't know, this almost kind of feels like you might just ignore this person. I'm getting a real strong energy of you either blatantly ignoring them, or maybe it's just not even hitting your radar. This is interesting. Let me see this person's deepest intentions. Does it go any deeper than that? I have a funny feeling it probably doesn't go much deeper than that. I don't know. Let's see. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Well, they're afraid of you moving on. Yeah, okay. So, how do I even put words to that? It's like they're afraid of the thought of you moving on. But they're not, it's not like they're coming forward to try to say, look, I really want to try to do this right this time. You know, I apologize for what I did. I want to work on myself. I see what I screwed up. You know, what we all wish. When somebody from the past comes back into our life, that's what we all wish was the case. But very rarely is that the case. Very rarely. There's always some sort of, well, I can't say always. 9 times out of 10, there's some sort of hidden motive and intention in there, you know? And this just looks to me like this person just does not want you to move on. You know? They just don't. They don't want, they would keep you hooked if they had to prevent you from moving on and being happy. Especially if they're having a hard time replacing you. If they thought it was going to be easy to replace you, and they go find out that it's not that fucking easy, but you actually move on and do better, that's going to make them look real fucking stupid, isn't it? That's going to make him look like a dumbass. So they're going to try like hell to make sure that you don't make them look stupid. That's interesting. Okay, well, I don't think it goes much deeper than that, though. I want to just jump straight to the advice here. You ain't got to be a rocket scientist. Shit, you ain't even got to be a goddamn skateboard scientist to fucking guess the outcome of where that would go. Repeat cycle. Oh, repeat cycle. And most of the time, when cycles repeat, it's worse every time. Most of the time. Let's get the advice. What's the advice for Capricorn universe? Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Don't let your guard down. Do not let your guard down. Now, if it was me, now this is where I got to be careful. This is where I got to be careful. If it was me, I wouldn't even respond to him. If it was me. If you do respond to them, keep them at an arm's distance long enough to be able to peep their intentions. Okay? Because one of the best ways to tell whether or not somebody is trying to manipulate you is to set boundaries. That's a real good way. I don't know if I can say that that works 100% of the time, but 95% of the time, if you're curious as to whether or not somebody's trying to manipulate you, set a boundary. Now, I'm not saying set some crazy, ridiculous, outlandish boundary. I mean, I guess you can if you want to, but it's not necessary. Just set a normal, common sense, common human decency fucking boundary and see how they respond to that. A person who has good intentions, who has no intentions of manipulating you, they're not up to no good, they're not up to no foul play, they will respect your boundaries, even if it does not benefit them. They'll respect it. You know? They're not, but a person who's trying to manipulate you, a manipulator is going to push and test and poke and push and persist and poke and test and push and persist, poke and test and push and persist. They're going to do anything they can to try to overstep your boundaries. And you better keep your foot firmly planted. And here's what you'll see. Well, honestly, it's best not to let it get to this point. Okay, so if you feel it getting to this point, it's best to just cut it off. But let's say you keep it going. And no, you keep your foot firmly fucking planted. No, I don't care. You ain't gonna manipulate me. You're not gonna shame me. You're not gonna guilt trip me. You're not gonna throw a pity party. My decision is my decision. No. Tough titty said to kitty, sorry, I don't care what you got going on. I don't care. No. I made a fucking decision, and that's my decision. They're going to start becoming increasingly more frustrated, right? First, they'll probably start off, usually most manipulators start off with some kind of pity party, you know? to try to get you to feel sorry for them. And when that doesn't work, they start getting pissed. They start getting mad. Then they start giving you these slick, clandestine little backhanded compliments, you know, and they start working on your guilt, start trying to guilt trip you, and they start trying to shame you. Then they step up to shame. And then when none of that works, boom, they explode and throw a fit. They're going to blow up and explode and throw a fit when they don't get what they want out of you. Now, like I said, it's best not to let it get to that point. But I'm telling you, it will. If you keep your foot firmly planted. A manipulator's worst fucking nightmare is a person with integrity. A manipulator's worst nightmare is a person who doesn't give a fuck about anybody else's opinion. Oh, they need you to care about other people's opinions. Oh, if you don't care about anybody's opinion of you, that is a manipulator's worst fucking nightmare. Worst nightmare. Oh, that's what you think about me? Okay, go think it some more. That's cool. Oh, you think I'm a selfish, narcissistic asshole? Okay, cool. Go think that some more. Oh, you're going to go tell everybody? Okay, go have fun. Go tell it on the mountain. I don't really give a fuck. That's their worst nightmare. They hate that. And then when all else fails, the pity parties, the guilt, the shame, the spreading rumors and trying to drag your name through the dirt, when all else fails, then they explode and throw a fit. That can create karma. So like I said, when you feel it, push into that point. When they start poking at when they start trying to shame you, somewhere in the ballpark of guilt and shame, when they start getting into poking at that area, that's when you just cut it off. Just cut it off. The peace in my life is worth being the villain in your story. Get the fuck out of here, right? So, careful. Be careful. All right. Let's see what's going on with the singles and the person you're interested in. Anything good happening in the third week of August? Anything bad happening? Anything happening at all? Two more shuffles. Two more. One. And two. Damn devil card again? No. Well, and the Temperance and the Three of Wands. So patiently waiting, but the Chariot reversed. No forward movement. This situation is stuck at a standstill. Now, I don't want to try to get too specific, but for those of you who are sexually intimate with this person, I don't think it's going past that. Not really. For those of you dealing with a situationship or an undercover secret situationship, you know, that kind of stuff. Honestly, that's come across my desk fucking dozens of times over the last month. I don't know what it's been about this past month, but I've heard that word situationship. Oh God, dozens of times in the past month. So maybe it's something a lot of people are going through right now. But if that's what you're dealing with, it doesn't really look like it's moving past that. But at the same time, you can't find it in yourself to end this. Still patiently waiting. But it's just not moving forward. Some of you dealing with a Cancer also have Scorpio, Aries, Capricorn, Aries again. All right, let's see how they feel about you. How do they feel about you? What's their intentions? 3 more shuffles. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. 3 of Wands on their part too, so they're waiting on something too. Okay. Okay. They're keeping their options open. I feel like there's one very specific person on their heart, and it's probably a past person, honestly. Most of the time, 95% of the time, when I read a new connection or a potential new connection, past energy comes through. But when it all comes down to it, I think this person is just keeping their options open. They're not making a decision to settle down and commit to anyone just yet. So I don't think it really has anything to do with you. So when I'm looking at their intentions, I don't think I would go as far as to say that they are playing games or manipulating you or using. I wouldn't go that far. But I would go as far as to say that I don't think they've picked you as the person they want to settle down with. I'll say that much. So, which begs the question, do you want to hold on to somebody that doesn't even know if they want to be with you? That's the question. That's the $1 million question right there. Chariot reversed again. So I guess let's get the advice. What's the advice? Judgment reversed. Well, I hate it when this comes through like this. Hate it when this comes through like this. Because I don't feel right telling you do or don't go for this. Because if I tell you to go for this, you're probably going to be disappointed. If I tell you to just walk the fuck away from this, and you don't really want to, deep down in your heart, you don't really understand why you should, you just do it because you trust me, then the likelihood that you're going to just meet the same demon in a different skin suit with the next person you meet is very high. Very, very high. That could be beneficial retroactively, but for the time being, I'll just say this. Throughout the course of my career, I have done almost 6,000 personal readings. Somewhere in the ballpark of maybe 4,000 of them involve a very specific person. You know what they all have in common? Not some of them, not most of them. Not the vast majority of them. Not 99.999% of them, but all of them. Every single reading I have ever done regarding a specific person has one thing in common: confusion and doubt. Confusion and doubt regarding feelings, intentions, trust, or all three. That energy should not be present. Should not be present. Within the first month, that energy should be cleared up. If you want to push it a second month, I think that's excessive, but just to give you some leverage here. After 60 days of connecting with somebody, even if it's just a friendship, because I read that a lot too. Me and this person have been best friends for a year. How do they feel about me? So you've been best friends with somebody for a year, and you're confused about how they feel about you? If you're confused about how somebody feels about you after 60 days of consistent connection, meaning daily, we're talking, we're hanging out, FaceTiming, dating, fucking, whatever. For 60 days, you'll always be confused about it. Always. Maybe one or two of you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but personally, I've never witnessed or heard a story of that confusing energy being present between two people, being cleared up completely 100% after 60 days. So, I guess just ask yourself, how long should I have to wait before this makes sense? If you were my divine life partner, how long should I have to wonder if you were the person the universe picked for me? I think it'd be a good idea for a decision to be made in the month of August. One way or the other. Definitively. Either absolutely yes, I'm going for this, or no, I'm fucking done with it. All right, well, I feel like those were the messages that my Capricorn family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.